Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first edition of the Holistic Highlights podcast, the brainchild of my partner here, Ruthie Edelson, who's the Chief Marketing Officer at Torrey Holistics, and a brand that is growing quickly with stores coming to other parts of the state of California. Ruthie, you and I, we talked about getting together and podcasting and talking about the industry and learning, because we're, not necessarily experts in all the different products and all the different means of taking in cannabis. And that's where this podcast came from. And here we are in our opening debut episode. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm so excited. There's so much to learn. There's a lot of things constantly changing and being updated. And I think that a lot of consumers have a lot of questions, and we're here to answer them and give them great information.
I think that one of the things you and I've learned for all these years of working together is that there are so many people that are brand new to cannabis, and sometimes people are intimidated. Oh, I don't want to go into the store. I've never been there before. I don't want to go by myself. What kind of place is it? Who am I talking to? I think that as we go on, people will really learn about not just the stores, but the people in the industry and, where their passions lie. And I think that's kind of part of the fun of what we're about to start doing here on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think you make a great point, because there's people that have been using cannabis that still have so many questions, like, why do I feel different when I use this product versus this product? And so I think we're here to answer all those kinds of questions and make sense of all the new products that are on the market. And then, I can't believe how many women don't come into stores and ask the questions, because there are so many products that are created for and to help women. So that's another avenue to help them understand, how products are here to help them. There's really products for so many different people, different kinds of people, different ailments, or if you just want to have fun. So let's just break it down, answer a lot of questions, and help people figure this new industry out.
Talk to us for a minute before we meet our first guest. And each week we'll interview somebody from the industry, whether they're with and representing a product, or it could be somebody from within one of the shops. It could be a doctor who's helping people, and we're learning about that. I mean, literally, we're going to learn a lot through this podcast. And I think that was part of the fun, Ruthie, when you and I started talking about this. You were like, hey, look, I work here, but I don't know everything about all these products. So you have a lot of questions you're going to learn, and we'll all learn together. But could you just explain a little bit, as we're getting started, about the expanding business and the expanding brand that is the Holistics name?
Absolutely. So the Holistics highlights in the podcast was created because Torrey Holistics is expanding. However, each of our stores is named differently. So Torrey Holistics here in Torrey Pines, Sereno Valley area of San Diego is Torrey Holistics. And then we have California Holistics down in Chula Vista. The southern part of San Diego, we have Mammoth Holistics, which is in Mammoth Lakes. And then we will be opening up Oxnard Holistics in the Oxnard Shores area later this year.
All right. Shout out to the 805. And by the way, shout out to our people up at Mammoth Holistics, Ruthie, because when I go up there, and I've been up there, I think 3 times so far this year, I always make sure I stop by and say hello.
Yeah, it's a beautiful store. Love that store. They got hit really hard with COVID, but we've been open for over a year, and they're doing great. And yeah, we're open for business 7 days a week.
All right. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's just jump right in. And Ruthie, let's meet our first guest here on the Holistic Highlights podcast. All right, guys, Nick Nappi is here, and we all know Nick, which is great. So it's an awesome way to get things started here with a conversation with somebody that we all actually already know, and we know his products. He is an account manager with Heavy Hitters, and Nick has a whole background as a celebrity chef and restaurateur, which we'll get to hear about. Nick, great to have you. And Ruthie, why don't you lead us off? Get us started.
Sure. So welcome to the Holistics Highlights, your cannabis podcast. Nick is a rep of ours from Heavy Hitters. We actually love when he comes to visit us here at Torrey Holistics headquarters. We have a lot of fun, laugh a lot, and he tells us the best stories. So Nick is, I'll have to admit, one of my favorite reps. We always have a good time with him. And so we are super happy to have him on the show today.
All right. What's up, Nick?
What's up, everybody? Thank you, Ruthie. If you didn't say that I was your favorite rep, I was going to remind you. For sure.
Yeah.
I write that down. I keep it in my wallet.
I know.
You're the only person that says that about me.
It's on your business card. Ruthie's favorite rep.
Ruthie's favorite. That's right.
In the meantime, Ruthie, you're going to hear about that from your other reps. I assure you that.
I know.
I do tell them in passing.
Hey, Nick.
As you should.
Get us started. We all know you because of your background in the food industry as a celeb chef and as a restaurateur. Just for everybody that's listening and getting to meet you for the first time, give us a little bit about that background.
Yeah, it feels like about 100 years ago, I was on MasterChef season 6. I was 4th place. I got 4th place, fan favorite, and I at the end of the show, I just kind of ran with it. I got into the San Diego food scene. Was working downtown in the gas lamp for years, and then opened up a bar in Little Italy called Bar One, and then helped open up another place called Lola 55 in East Village, where they specialize in, I don't know, I'd have to say probably the best tacos on earth. It's just this real deep Oaxacan, very soulful root food that just kind of knocks your socks off for a really good price and some fantastic drinks. So I've been in the food industry in San Diego for quite a while. And then about 4 years ago, made the move over to cannabis.
How'd that happen?
I got older. my body couldn't take the kitchen abuse. It was actually a family decision. By family, I mean my wife and I. The kitchen takes a lot of time out of your life. It takes a lot of time out of your own self-care and love. And I've been a cannabis user for a long time, since when you used to have to look over your back when you were driving with it. And it just kind of seemed like the perfect fit. You know, going into the kitchen was the first time that I decided to make a career leap that followed my passion. And I was really happy during that time. And I wanted to make sure that I kept that happiness in my life. So I needed to find something that I really cared about and was passionate about, and that was cannabis. Cannabis has always been something that's a part of my life. It's helped me tremendously over the years. I mean, with my marriage, with kicking out, ADHD meds and any other kind of meds that I was on, whether prescribed or not prescribed, it has changed my entire life and puts this smile on my face.
When you say the kitchen takes a toll on you, I don't think a lot of people know how hard that job is. Because you do more of the eating as the customer than you do the visual of the cooking, because cookings are pretty much sights unseen for a lot of reasons. So Tell people, what was it like? Like, how bad was it on your body? Give people some insight on that.
Yeah, when you're young and you're first getting in the kitchen, it's not terrible. You're a young kid. You can fall out of a tree, jump up, put your pants on, and go to school. But, you start getting to a certain age, and the 12 to 14-hour days, 30 to 35 days straight before you get a day off. When you start running a kitchen and you're the chef, it's a lot. That leaves you 10 hours to yourself. Usually 6 of those, you're stressing about what's happening in the kitchen when you're not there. So you end up going back, taking a nap on some milk crates usually. And like you said, most people think of restaurants and all they think about is the food that they eat. And I get this a lot, actually, when we go to people's houses for dinner parties or any type of get-togethers, and they say, "Hey, man, I just cooked all this food, and I really hope that you like it." I don't know what you think that we eat in the back of the kitchen, but normally it's like cereal or like a piece of bread with some peanut butter on it, because that's all you have time to eat. So anytime anybody feels like cooking for me, go ahead, because it's all welcome. But yeah, I mean, you got 14-hour days. You love your guests. But not all of them are fantastic. So that stress, hits you pretty hard too. And it's a lot of, chefs are artists, and your art is it's on full zoom in front of everybody at all times. And there's hundreds of people. It's every single dish that goes out is being critiqued by a new person. And that stress alone can take somebody out. But I really didn't. That part didn't get me. It was the physical toll that started to take me down. Back problems, knee problems, whatever else problems. It all starts to hurt after a while.
Well, Ruthie, I feel like we can get this. I think anybody who puts everything they are into their job, their business, their career, we feel where you're coming from, because Ruthie and I we spend a lot of time off air talking to each other about parenthood, professional life, etc., and the toll that takes. Right, Ruthie?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. But what I find interesting, Nick, is that you weren't just a line cook. You weren't just someone that worked in the kitchen. You were someone that had big success in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So the leap of having a successful career into maybe uncharted territory, how did you take that step to where you are now?
Yeah. I've had a lot of good mentors in my life, people that have taken a lot of risk and it's paid off or it hasn't paid off. But the thing that I've learned the most, I think, from people in my life, most of them have been older, and they've just explained to me the value of our time being the most valuable commodity that we have. It's the one thing that you just can't get back. And the ride that we're on, this life, isn't very long at the end of the day. So it's all about just doing what you want to do, finding something that you want to do, and effing going for it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not the end of the world. I didn't end up under a bridge. Actually, my life has gotten better. So, you just got to take these risks every once in a while in life. And that's what I did.
That's cool. Well, Ruthie, let's turn this from Nick's background and learning about his time, as a, reality TV chef and then restaurateur. And then, like you said, 5 years ago, going into the cannabis space. Where shall we begin? What do you say, boss?
He's now a cannabis rock star. He went from restaurant rock star to cannabis rock star. So, Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about Heavy Hitters? What's your favorite product? Why do you love this company? Maybe some surprising things about the industry.
Yeah, Heavy Hitters is amazing. They've been around for. We just had our 25th anniversary, 25-year anniversary.
Wow, really?
This last year.
It was illegal then, but that's 25. That's
hard
to
got
believe. Birthdays.
Wow,
it's a cool story actually. The owner
can drive.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the owner of our company, Skylar, he's probably one of the cooler people I've ever met. He's one of those guys. I think if you think of a cannabis industry owner, I don't know what the vision is that you see, but
Cheech and Chong.
Okay. Yeah, he completely doesn't fit the mold then. So he's the guy that stops and talks to you if he sees you crying on the street. He's the guy that would put his sweater on you if he saw you that you were cold. He's just one big heart with legs. And working for people in any industry, it's important that at least for me, it's important that I can get behind the vision. And his vision was to be the best by giving you the best, not by having the best prices or the cheapest or the best. He wants to be known as the person that gives you, or he wants to be known as the brand that gives you the best of everything. And it's kind of what I brought with me when I was in the kitchen. I didn't believe in putting things on a menu just because they were inexpensive and everywhere else sold. I always believed in giving you the best quality ingredients that I could find in San Diego. And it's exactly what Heavy Hitters does. They find the greatest quality ingredients from their 25-year relationships with these growers and cultivators. And they have the strongest relationships in the industry to ensure that we have the best products to give to our consumers.
So I think of Heavy Hitters though, and Ruthie, you were asking about like products. I think of Heavy Hitters as being carts, like vape cartridges.
Sure.
What other under the brand? What else should people be looking at? And probably the stuff that is sold within the stores within the family here.
Yeah,
but what else is there?
Heavy Hitters. When I first started with Heavy Hitters, that's all we were carts, and that's legitimately all it was. And over the past 2.5 years, we've really grown our portfolio. And in the growth of the portfolio, nothing's changed with the Heavy Hitters vision of being the heaviest hitting hardest THC having products. So though we dropped our live, which is our live resin and our concentrates, but one of the ones that's really kind of taken this industry by storm is our diamond pre-rolls. Mm-hmm. We have THCA diamond pre-rolls that you can find at Torrey Holistics that, I mean, on average, are testing in the high 50s to low 60% THCs as a pre-roll. We're using some of the best indoor flower that you can find. Again, you know, utilizing our long-lasting relationships with cultivators throughout the state that really don't look at the mass quantity of flower, but they want that quality of flower only. And we're able to have those relationships with these, you know, certain cultivators to be able to use that flower. And then the diamonds themselves, the THC, I mean, the THCA, when we are bringing these as samples to our buyers and to some of the bud tenders, we ask them to cut them open. Everybody in the industry knows how to roll their own joints. So just cut this thing open and roll it yourself. And the reason we do that is the sparkles. It's almost like driving out to Joshua Tree and looking up into the sky and seeing all those stars when you came from San Francisco and you haven't seen a star in your entire life, right? It's just a whole nother world of what a pre-roll should look like. And again, it goes back to our CEO, our owner, the owner, Skylar, and how he wants to give you exactly what he promises. He wants to give you the best. So diamond pre-rolls are flying like crazy. But my all-time favorite product is our new tincture. It's this 1,000 milliliter, 1,000 milligrams, single strain distilled cannabis. I mean, forget the alcohol and the MCT oil that you need to make a tincture. This is straight up water, single strain, meaning Acapulco Gold is the only flower that you're going to find in this. So the THC is only provided by the flower and some cane sugar. And the flavors that come out of this thing are this citrusy ginger deliciousness that is straight water. It's water. So it's soluble in any mocktail that you feel like making. If you're a little crazy, you want a crossfade, you can make a cocktail with it. I mean, you could do anything with this. My wife and I have been using this for the past, 60 days plus. And I'm not a person that gets much more than 5 hours of sleep, but over the past 2 months, I've been getting 8 hours straight of sleep. It is a wonderful, perfect body high. It's got added terpenes, so you get the full entourage effect where it touches you from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. And you literally turn into the couch if that's what you want. And, you're diving into Netflix and running through everything they have.
So, Ruthie, when you, because with so many things at Torrey Holistics, you're kind of like running a small business with many small businesses within. And so when you find a partner like Heavy Hitters, what do you value in the partnership that you two guys have?
That's a great question. Well, Heavy Hitters is for the type of consumer that is looking for a high THC. It's not your, grandma or someone that's just getting, unless your grandma is a high THC user, but, not someone who is nervous about being too high. It's someone who wants that heavy hit. So we're very clear on who the consumer is for Heavy Hitters. So it's easy to market and promote and, kind of share the love of a Heavy Hitters product for the community here at Torrey Holistics. So, when we do something together with Heavy Hitters and with Nick, we know exactly who we're, letting them know that, like the tincture, when he brought the tincture to us, we were one of the few in the whole state of California that got to first have that at our store. And, that was fantastic. And we had a display for it. Same with the diamond pre-rolls. That was really fun. So the display of those are, a pre-roll on fake diamonds. And literally when you have that out, people just try to steal it because they think there's like something in there. They just want their hands on it. It's all sparkly and beautiful. So it's just really fun. They always have great displays and really fun things available to do with them.
It's funny you say that though, Ruthie, because when I think of Heavy Hitters, one of the things I loved, and again, I always think of their carts. The carts have like a metal tip.
Yeah.
And so it feels good. Like it's heavy, like the name Heavy Hitters. Not only is it a heavy product, it's a heavy high, but it's a heavy cart because it's got that metal tip. And you just mentioned tinctures and packaging. See, I thought a tincture was like a drip. Like I
it
didn't know.
typically is.
But you guys are using the word tincture in what looks like a bottle, because Alex put it up on the screen. Nick, do you have one, or do you have one of these bottles?
I do, and again, you know, I feel like I'm the CEO's cheerleader by keep bringing him up and saying how genius he is. But it was one of the reasons why he came up with this bottle, was because the tinctures are. I mean, this is like this is an alcohol, and this is something that you would find at a bar, right?
It looks better than most tequila bottles.
Yeah,
100%. And you know, it all came into fruition because Skylar's mom was having a turn for the worse in life, and the tinctures were helping her with her pain. But it's really difficult to find that the dosage with tinctures. It's a little messy, it's oily, it's greasy, it's all that type of deal, and it's medicinal, right? You got to put it into your tongue. It's sublingual. It takes forever. Man, we got shot glasses that have the measurements of your THC percentage, 10, 15, 20 milligrams, 30 milligrams, wherever you want in the shot glass. So it's even, it's ready to go, and you know exactly how much THC you're getting for what you need. So it wasn't about being a weird and different tincture. It was about recreating the tincture space. I think we thought the tincture space just needed something new, something clean, something fun, and something really exciting. Tinctures get forgotten about. They're usually.
So I don't know if this is a silly question. What does it taste like?
Yeah, so it's grapefruit and ginger. So Acapulco Gold, Skylar went through about, I don't know, 1,300 to 3,000 strains when they found this osmosis-y, kind of technique to get this to work. And they didn't want to add any flavors. They didn't want to add anything except for water and a little bit of cane sugar to make it palatable. And it just, by the grace of the weed gods, Acapulco Gold has this flavor that just goes with everything. It's fantastic.
I really feel like that should come out at a club. You know how they bring out them big old bottles at the club? It's like $5
Sparklers. Absolutely.
Bro, you come bring that to the table, you be the hero. You be the LeBron James of the club.
I want to go to that club.
I'll carry him. I look good in a little skirt. I'll carry him out with the sparklers. I have great legs.
Hey now.
Wait.
If you carry that, your legs won't matter.
No, that's true. That's true.
So Nick, does that you held up the oh gosh, I don't
shot glass?
Oh yeah, the shot glass. Does that come with every bottle?
It does. So the whole bottle comes in it's a sweet box, right? This is the whole box.
Awesome.
It's got a full story in the back about where am I? Here it goes. How it came to fruition, the whole story of heavy hitters. It's got the 25-year tale to it, how Skylar started it. And then when you open it up, it's also a lot of fun. So the reason we even have this still is because of the way that this thing looks on the inside. But when you open it up, it's got these beautiful photos of the trichomes. Let me see.
Wow, that's really good packaging right there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The shot glass has, where am I?
Like
shot glass.
The
shot glass has some things going on, but it also comes with a cool cocktail glass. And it's honestly, it's good on its own. It's fantastic when you throw it with some mixers, even just like some lemonade, or we've been testing around with a few different things like margaritas and mules. And
man, how much is that gonna run me? Take my money. How much I'm gonna have to give up to get?
They're actually not. They're not terrible when you think about 1,000 milligrams. I don't know what they're priced at Torrey, but they should be anywhere inside of 200 to 225.
And that's for 1,000 milligrams?
I could do that.
For 1,000 milligrams, yeah.
That's
and this
amazing.
thing lasts. I mean, we're holding onto a bottle. My wife and I we're like Cheech and Chong's niece and nephew. You know what I mean? We could put it down. So we're still holding onto a bottle for at least 30 days. So wow. It's a good purchase.
Yeah, that is a really good purchase.
And he's not kidding when he says that he's related to Cheech and Chong, him and his wife, who is adorable. So Nick, why is that considered a tincture, not a drink?
It's not a drink because we are making so we're providing the THC. A drink has added THC, right? Okay. It has the added oils, the added alcohols. This is straight osmosis through water instead of the oil press or the alcohol press, which you would do for tinctures. But normally for a drink, you have to add basically a tincture to the drink.
Got it.
So, Nick, we could keep going all day long. And I know that this is your first visit here on the Holistic Highlights podcast, and there will be others.
Last.
Right.
No.
There will be more visits to come. Ruthie says you usually walk into the shop and you got good stories to tell. What kind of stories are we talking about here, Ruthie?
Oh man.
There's a lot of good ones. You know, I'm on the road a lot. My entire job is basically seeing my accounts. You know, I don't know if every vendor does, but I do. I like to see my people. So you know, if you think about it, the more you get to be around humans, the more funny stuff that you're going to see people do.
This is true.
I guess I'll keep it. So I got a good story. And this is when I first got into the industry. I'll keep it so it's on me, just in case somebody calls in and is like, dude, I wish Nick didn't tell a story about me. So I don't really care. You know, I really don't care. There's a whole list of people that got stories about me. So when I first started, I'm a big flower guy. I'm old school. I like rolling joints. I like hotboxing my car still, even though I don't have to. It's just nostalgic for me, you know. And edibles aren't my thing, because edibles are like, you know, they just stick to you, right? They wait for you to talk shit about them before they jump on and punch you in the face, right? They don't come on right away. So,
Browner, does this sound like an accurate description to you, man?
Very much. I get this a lot.
Yeah. So we were up in LA. It's where our corporate is. We had a Christmas. This was before COVID, 2000. This is when I first started, and we had our holiday party, and we were about to release the heavy hitter gummies. And we had the prototype packages, so they weren't like, you know, it wasn't like state ready to go. It was just for the staff to try out and give our feedback on. And we're coming back from LA. I didn't have anything to smoke on the way down. It's a long drive in traffic. I'm not a good person to be around when I'm uncomfortable. So I said, all right, I'll take one of these gummies. It wasn't working. So
Somebody's laughing in the background. Somebody's already laughing.
It wasn't working. It didn't work. That one wasn't really working either. So I took another one. So I'm about 3 of these gummies in. I'm thinking, all right, 30 milligrams is nothing for a guy like me. I'm 240 pounds of man. All of a sudden, I'm going about 16 miles an hour on the 5, and everyone's zipping by me, and I have no idea what's going on. So I pull over. I'm like, dude, there's something wrong. I think I'm getting sick. I've got like an aneurysm or something, because I'm Italian. Everything's the worst. And I pull over, I call somebody from work, and I say, hey man, what's up with these gummies? And they're like, I hope you didn't eat those. Those are 20 milligrams a piece.
Oh no.
So I sat in Orange County, I think, for 6.5 hours until I could figure out what my name was and how to turn my car on. I think I was sitting in the back seat for a good 20 minutes trying to turn on the headrest behind the front seat. So
That'll do it. 60 milligrams of gummies,
dude. I mean, honestly, like I will be like 10 milligrams, and then about 30 or 40 minutes after it hits, I'll be like, all right, now I'll take like 3 or 4 or 5 more milligrams. I'm literally like eating around the circle, like I'm trying to dose myself, but man, 60 milligrams, no way.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just edibles. It's just there's something about edibles and me that it's like we're like Bloods and Crips. We just don't get along. And it was a real gang war in my brain that day, and I couldn't think. So the gummies won. Nick lost.
A lot of stories end with gummies winning. A lot of stories end.
I think most do.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm really looking forward to trying the tincture, and I love the packaging of it. I think it's interesting the distinction between a drink versus a tincture, and I love the story of Skylar, the CEO of the company, and how passionate he is about the products. And the name Heavy Hitters is just like the perfect name for any product that I've ever used of that brand. So,
Ruthie, y'all got this in the store now? Y'all got this right now?
The tincture, no, but we will be having it in April around.
Yeah.
Put my name on the list.
You got it.
Got you.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Put me on the waiting list.
Yeah, there should be a pre-order list, Ruthie.
John, you're the number one.
Or we could all just go to Nick's house right now and just get the party started.
It's always open. Ruthie knows it's always open. We always have a good time over here. We get
awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, hey, Nick,
it's not because of me though. It's because of the wife. If it was me, it'd be a bunch of blow up furniture. You know what I mean?
like a guy, exactly.
Like a guy, exactly.
Well, dude, it is great to talk to you. Like I said, we will look forward to having you back. We'll definitely, Ruthie, I think around, the 420 time when this tincture is going to make it into the store, that would be a great time to bring Nick back.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that'd be awesome.
Nick, it is great to see you, brother. Thank you so much for sharing the story today of Heavy Hitters, and we'll look forward to having you back.
Good to see you guys too. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, guys, what do we think about Nick? We all know him, and he's quite a character. And I like the way he combines, by the way, his passion for food with his passion for cannabis, because he does a lot of cooking with cannabis. But I think, Ruthie, the tincture product, that looks really good. That was an impressive piece of packaging, and wow, 1,000 milligrams. I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah, I mean, Heavy Hitters does not play around. When they come out with something, they come out big.
Yeah, I also really liked the story and the way Nick was the ambassador for Skylar, the CEO, and all of his passion for the product and for what people get from Heavy Hitters. It was cool. It was good to catch up with Nick. It'd been a little while.
He did the cornuts, yeah?
Yeah, he did the cornuts.
See, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to get that wrong.
Yeah.
Ruthie, do you see like the cannabis industry, like the innovation just getting taken to another level? Because when you look at a bottle like that, you're like, this obviously this wasn't around when I was in high school, like the cannabis game is changing. Do you see do you see companies like Heavy Hitters and other companies just innovating brand new, cool looking things like that frequently?
All the time. I mean, it's very competitive. They're always trying to come out with new things. Some things work really well and stick, other things don't. And there's something for everyone, right? There's a lot of great things for microdosers. There's great things for people that are heavy users. So it's really interesting to see the new things that come out. Yeah, I'll come out and peek, when we have new vendors coming out and showing Kalina and Danielle new products. It's been really, really fascinating.
And you said that product should be in store by 420?
Yeah, we did have it during Christmas time. So
talk about a Christmas gift.
Oh, I know.
Was, it is, it runs $225 before tax. So we had a handful of them for Christmas gifts.
How long did they last?
They actually went pretty quickly. We got 2 shipments in. So we will bring them back for in April for around 420.
It's like, even if you're not the biggest cannabis intaker, that's one of those things that you have on the shelf in your house bar or your bar cart. That's like a talking piece that someone comes over, you're like, what's that?
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And they're delicious drinks. You can make the best drinks with tinctures, with other cannabis drinks. I mean, people make delicious drinks.
It's so interesting you're saying that, Alex, about how a bottle like that doesn't, it could be a showpiece as well, but it's true. Like, I always have, if somebody comes over and you've got beer, wine, and whatever, but I always say to people, I'm like, would you like a cannabis drink instead? And they're like, what do you mean? Let me tell me more. And then I've got, a lot of different products that I get from the store, and I'll try this. Well, what's it going to do to me? I'll say, oh, this is very light. It's only 5 milligrams. Here, I'll pour it in a glass for you. And then people try it and they're like, this is good. It tastes good. And then, nobody's getting like wasted off of a small can of something, or a small shot. But it is interesting how many different ways there are to take in cannabis now, and how companies who are in one vertical actually look for a new revenue stream in a different one. So Heavy Hitters, they've always been carts. Now they're tinctures as well. And I didn't realize about all their pre-rolls, how popular those were.
And they have the night gummies, 20 milligrams.
Night gummies. Ooh. Yeah, I need to get those from my dad.
I was looking at when we were talking to Nick, all of their packaging says 20 grams for their gummies. And I was like, oh yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Nice and good.
Yeah.
You want to be careful.
Yeah, but you want to be real careful.
Yeah.
Hey, Ruthie, thank you for our first episode. This is great. For those of you that are watching on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe so that we can send you push notifications when we're going to have new content coming out. And also, if you look on your screen, Alex will post for you all the different social media handles from all the different stores that are all part of the Holistics family. Ruthie, you want to give a little shout out to everybody?
Yeah, to Torrey Holistics in San Diego, to Mammoth Holistics in Mammoth Lakes, to California Holistics that's going to be opening up soon in Chula Vista, and then we're going to have Oxnard Holistics in Oxnard Shores.
Grande, your hometown, man.
Not only my hometown, probably a mile away from Mama Padilla's house.
No way.
Yep,
You've
just right
officially
up.
made it, man. They put Torrey in your hometown.
Way to go,
You get the
Oxnard.
ribbon.
Amazing.
It's right up 5th Street. Just boom, right there, right till you hit the beach.
and Browner was about to start ranting and raving, and he froze up on us.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that'll do it for this episode of Holistics Highlights. This is going to be a great new podcast for us. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to get to learn about all these different products. We're going to meet all the personalities, and then we're going to give you a lot of education too, especially for those of you that are new to the industry. Ruthie, have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you on the next episode of the Holistics Highlights podcast.
Thank you, guys.